is there one or two things that you kind of wish you did differently looking back? If you had a mulligan, you would do differently in terms of getting started?
I really didn't start out thinking about growing to the size that we are, and it kind of happened. But I would say I inhibited our growth quite a bit for several years just because I didn't understand the business side of it. So I would encourage everybody to get involved in conferences or masterminds, things of that nature, to learn the business side if they're really wanting to grow their firm. But we went from mom and pop. At some point, you can't handle everything. So learning how to delegate, hiring the right people, I think we've got a good mix of, people with different talents. So what I've looked for is people that have talents that I don't have. There's attorneys in our office that are really great with personal marketing or litigation or operation skills, things of that nature. So we've tried to get a good mix of people that can handle the different, operations portion of it. Because, I was one of the litigators and I've had to step back out of that. So I've had to hire a litigator to take that place. So I would say learn the business side of it and know from your numbers what you can afford, how you can afford to grow. I wouldn't necessarily encourage going and getting a line of credit and getting debt and spending a lot of money. I would always put most of the money back into the business, and now it's reaping those rewards. But several years, I didn't take that money out. I just kept putting it back into the business, and I'd add a little bit to the digital advertising or a little bit to, whatever needed to be paid for. And over a period of time, that starts to grow. And then at some point, then you're going to reap that benefit. We've had to really start, I got a COO recently, which I hadn't had, a fractional one. That's been really a game changer. We're looking at getting an HR person to take that off the plate, got a bookkeeper to take that off the plate. Now we have somebody that does a dedicated intake. We just recently split from attorneys handling everything to just pre-litigation and litigation. So we got into that size that we needed to start make those changes. But going back, it's just, I was hiring too slowly because I didn't understand the business side of it and inhibited the growth. So the main takeaway is, go to these conferences that talk about the business side of the practice. If you're owning your own firm, you need to know that you can't be just a great attorney and litigator and grow your business without knowing that portion of it. Because I tried it for several years, and if you really want to grow, then you need to understand that side of it, and then you'll have confidence in hiring that extra attorney or staff that you may need